Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Malcolm Heath. I am the Director of Digital Marketing or the Director of Digital Solutions here at VinCue, and I have the opportunity to work with the VinCue Boost product and team. I come from a history of automotive, everything from being a valet to being a new and used car salesman, F&I. I was the Director of Marketing for an automotive group, and I've worked with a plethora of vendor companies throughout my tenure before joining the VinCue team on our mission to change the automotive industry. Based on Dan's presentation, your inventory is unique. You need to have your merchandising strategy start the moment your inventory enters your radar. Once you get your merchandising is done, what do you do? I had the opportunity of sitting down with Chip Perry early on in my time here at VinCue, and one of the things that he said was, a small portion of your inventory receives the lion's share of the visibility. I summed that up with 20% of your 20% of your inventory receives 80% of the visibility. What about the rest of your inventory? And that is where we introduce the Boost engine. The Boost engine is proprietary technology that we have developed here at VinCue that analyzes inventory-specific performance signals to ensure that your units are prioritized with the attention, with the eyes, and with the ad dollars behind them that they need as they begin to slip in the visibility. It monitors those performance signals and can change in real time as soon as inventory drops in engagement, as soon as inventory drops in visibility, VDP views, as soon as inventory receives more competitors in your market to ensure that your unit receives the attention that it deserves. What can the Boost engine do for your inventory, for your dealership? I'm going to speak on an example of a small Ford store, not very dissimilar to the one that I worked for down in Oklahoma, but this particular Ford store down in Texas was in a rural area that was struggling to gain market share. They had the inventory, they had an aggressive team of buyers that carried very high quality inventory, but they could not sell outside of their little small town area. That's where Boost came in. The Boost engine got to work by triaging their inventory, aka identifying the true low performers in their inventory, in their pre-owned lot that was full of aged inventory. We, the Boost team, partnered with the store to merchandise some of those differentiators, some of those why buys, to ensure that every time that we were putting your inventory in front of new audience, not only did they see the unit similar to the one that they were looking for, but they also started to get into their head the value that they would receive by coming to shop from your store. After a 3-month period, the Boost engine was able to decrease the average inventory age, which previously was well over 100 days on their lot, by 60 days. We had an 130% increase in sales volume over those 3 months. We, the Boost engine, the Boost team, ended up driving 53% of the inventory visibility for a nominal investment. And we helped them increase their inventory turn by 22x. For the clients that already have their committed advertising spend, they already have their preferred marketing vendors, that is completely okay. Every single dealership, every single market requires a unique strategy, requires a unique set of technology behind you. Regardless of the technology stack, regardless of how incredible your marketing team is, there are still those units that are problematic. For whatever reason, they're sitting in the back of your lot, they're collecting dust, they've got spider webs hanging on the mirror in between them. And for those individual units, we have developed Boost DIY. Boost DIY is the opportunity to give that problematic unit new life. All you have to do in our system is select that unit, select a budget that is recommended by the Boost engine, select a duration that is also recommended by the Boost engine, determined by historical unit performance not only on your lot, but also similar unit performance in your market. But after you do those simple 3 steps, the Boost engine does the rest. An example of DIY in action. We have an incredible client of ours up in the Northeast that was a cutting-edge Chevy store experiencing inventory aging issues with particular units. They already had their preferred marketing vendor, so they didn't want to go in and commit an additional X amount of spend every single month, but they still recognized the need to get those units off their lot. So what did they do? They analyzed their merchandising. They raised the problematic unit's price. That's a kind of a shocker, but there's reason behind that. And then they advertised the unit with Boost DIY and effectively restarted the life of their units by engaging with those hesitant shoppers. Anybody who was watching the unit on AutoTrader or any of the third parties, they got that price change notification. They also started seeing that unit incredibly prominently in their market, and it drove all the visibility straight to their website, right onto the VDP of that particular unit. Not only re-engaging those shoppers, but also driving a plethora of new audience to that vehicle to determine if that's the vehicle that they wanted to purchase. The results here, out of 19 vehicles advertised with Boost DIY, 12 of those units sold during the advertising period. That is a 67% success rate. Not only that, the advertising costs were recouped because they had raised the price of the unit, introduced it to new audience members that were unfamiliar with the price history of that vehicle, and they were able to sell that vehicle at a higher gross amount. To summarize my very brief presentation, I just wanted to recap the two primary offerings of Boost, and then the focus of Boost. Boost Retail is automated decision making. It is happening in real time as your inventory ages, as your merchandising changes, as your sales team is constantly working to sell the rest of your inventory on your lot. Let technology do the heavy lifting of finding the new buyers or finding that new audience in your market. Or use Boost DIY. As easy as 1, 2, 3. Select a unit, select a budget, confirm a duration, and let the Boost engine do the rest. At the end of the day, we know that there are a ton of advertising vendors out there. We would like to focus more on the power of technology. We focus on your turn, on your profit, and on your efficiency. We focus on the KPIs that matters, the turn, the age, and the gross, because at the end of the day, that's what affects your bottom line. We leverage technology, data, and automation to help you outperform your market. Our entire goal is to reduce your costs to let you sell more units faster. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.